Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I get asked all the time, how do you become a medical esthetician or just an esthetician in general? So in this video, I'm going to tell you how I became an esthetician, medical esthetician, and what you can do for schooling and what are your options. So let's get right into it. Okay, so first, I am Canadian. I am from Ontario. That is very important to know because in different countries, it is different on how you can become an esthetician. There's different steps, there's different courses, there's different everything. I know in the USA, in the States, between different states, it's going to be different on how you can become an esthetician. So that's very important that this is coming from someone that is Canadian, but this is still very important to know if you are from different countries, just to get an idea of what it could be like. But I just want to let you know that it's going to be different from each state. So I just wanted to point that out there. So how I became an esthetician, let's go. So first of all, I've always had a passion with beauty, makeup, everything. I wanted to learn more about the skin, going in more depth about the skin. I wanted to learn more and more and more. So I thought, why don't I just go to school to be an esthetician? Like, if I want to learn more about the skin and what ingredients to use and what's best for our skin, I should just go and be an esthetician. So that's what I did. I did my research. So that's very important to know. Do your research. Search the best schools, look around. Don't just choose the first school that you see on Google that's closest to you. Look at everything. Is it for you? Is it costly? There's just many things that you should know. So for me in Canada, usually for an esthetician program that I've seen, it's usually 2 years. So 2 years is the standard, I would say, from what I've seen online and from what a lot of my friends and people I know, usually the program is 2 years. Now, for me, I went to a private school. So I went to a private college and I took the medical esthetician course. Yes, there was a medical esthetician course. So I know in some of the states where you have to become an esthetician first, so go and do your schooling for esthetician. Usually it's a year, 2 years in the States. And then after, if you want to become a medical esthetician, you have to do other certifications and other courses to get that title as a medical esthetician. Also in the States, sometimes you don't get called medical esthetician. Sometimes it's called master esthetician. So if you ever hear someone say they're a master esthetician, it's the same thing as a medical esthetician. So for me, if you hear someone say they're a master esthetician, it means they're a medical esthetician. If you hear someone say they're a medical esthetician, they're a master esthetician. It just depends on what country you're from and it just depends. It literally just depends. For my program, it offered the medical esthetician course. So I got really lucky there. I didn't have to do the esthetician program and then do another certification and another course to get that qualification as a medical esthetician. So it was amazing for me. So my program was 1 year. So it was an advanced course. So that means I got all of the knowledge, I got all of the learning done in 1 year. So I didn't have to do 2 years. So it was great, but it was a lot of work. Also, they were very strict. So for instance, if you missed a day of school, you had to make up those hours that you missed. So for me, I was pregnant with my son at the time, Kylan, who is now 3 years old. Anyways, I was pregnant with him. So I tried my best not to miss school. I tried my hardest. I only missed like 3 days out of the entire school year, which is pretty good, especially for someone that was literally about to give birth. So those times that I did miss, I had to make up for those hours. So for instance, for us, we had to either write essays or do a project about skincare or skin conditions and anything like that. So you had to make up those hours. So if you are in esthetician school or even cosmetology school, you can't miss like if you miss school, you have to make up for those hours. So just go to school. Try not to miss class if you can't. If you can, make sure that you are going, because this is a hands-on program. So you can't just go home and just read about it. Like, it's really just hands-on. So for instance, you learn about facials, you learn how to do lash tints, you learn how to do manicures, pedicures, you learn how to do full body massages. So those are hands-on things that you can't just learn at home reading a textbook. Like, you need to get that hand on hand. Like, you have to be in school to learn that. So it's very important that not even just like you go to school, but you need to be in school to actually do it and to actually know what you're doing. So what do you learn in esthetician school? So I did already do kind of a background before, but I'm gonna go in more in depth. So you learn about makeup. You learn everything about makeup. You learn about the basics. So you learn the beginning stages of makeup. So for instance, how to match your foundation, how to color match. So you learn a lot about color theory, which is great to know. So for instance, if you're a winter, if you are a spring, if you are a summer, if you're fall. So it's really important to know, so then you can wear colors that suit you, or even your eyeshadow that looks good on you. So it's really good to know your color theory and to color match. And it's amazing too if you're a beginner with makeup. So if you go to esthetician school, you're gonna have fun learning everything about makeup. I think it's great to anyone that's a beginner. You're gonna learn a lot about makeup. So you learn about makeup. You also learn about nails. So for instance, you learn nail conditions, contradictions when doing manicures and pedicures. You learn all about that. You learn about how to do manicures, how to do pedicures, and how to do shellac. So you learn the basics of all that. The one thing I wish I would have learned, and it's kind of a bummer to be honest with you, is I wish we learned how to do acrylics and how to do gel nails. We don't learn about that in esthetician school, at least where I went to, and I mean everyone else. You literally don't learn about acrylics and gel nails, which sucks. And design, you don't learn about that. It's a bummer. I wish I would have learned about that. I would have loved that, but for that you have to take like another course and all that, so you don't really learn that in esthetician school, which was a bummer. But like, if you're going to school to just learn about nails and acrylics and gel, you're really not going to learn that in esthetician school. You're going to learn like shellac, pedicures, manicures, the basics of that. But if you want to learn more about acrylics and gel, you actually have to take a course for that. So I just want to let you know, you have to actually take a course for that. You also learn about waxing. So you learn how to wax. You learn about sugaring, how to sugar. You also learn how to do facials, so different kind of facials. You learn about ingredients, so you learn everything about like lactic acid, salicylic acid, benzoyl peroxide. You learn all of that. You also learn how to do body massages, body treatments. You learn about... Oh my gosh, we learned so much. Now for the medical esthetician course, it's more like advanced. This is where you learn about different devices and how to use them. So for instance, you learn about IPL, intense pulse light. So you'll learn all about that and how to do that. You also learn about microdermabrasion, how to do that in office. There's a lot of devices and stuff that you will learn in medical esthetician school or in the course that you take. So you'll learn a lot about that. You also learn about laser. Some don't teach you that, but if you want to learn about laser, you'll have to probably take another course to learn about that. You have that certification that you are a medical esthetician. They like to see that. So if you're looking for a job and they know that you're a medical esthetician, they love that, and they'll teach you in the work They'll teach you at work how to use the laser and how to use it because you already have that background. So great. You also learn about, oh my gosh, we learned so much. What else did we learn about? Okay, so I think that's everything. Now in the medical esthetician portion, you do learn more about the advanced devices that you would learn and use in medical spas. So if you're planning on becoming a medical esthetician, you can work in medical spas. So doing IPL, laser, and all that kind of things. And if you did not learn that, or if you have a hard time with that in school, they will teach you that on the job as you're training. So don't worry about that. What's the difference between esthetician and medical esthetician? So basically, you're an esthetician, medical esthetician, you can use more advanced devices. You can work in like medical spas. It's just one up, if that makes sense. Like you're an advanced esthetician. That's the better way of saying it. You're advanced, you're like a master esthetician. So you have all the basic knowledge as an esthetician, but you know more about the medical side, like how to use devices. You learn about Botox and all those kind of things, filler, you know, a background in that. So the one thing that you don't learn in esthetician school is about hair. You don't learn anything about hair. So if you're planning on becoming an esthetician, just know you will not learn about hair. That's not a thing in esthetician school. Now, if you're going to cosmetology school, that's different because you learn about hair. You don't learn about hair in esthetician school. Now remember, if you're going to esthetician school is just makeup, nails, all about the skin and waxing, sugaring, and then facials and body and massages. You will not learn about hair. I know a lot of people that did the esthetician program or medical esthetician program, and then they went and did a hairstyling program. So then they can do both. Here in Canada, or at least in Ontario, we don't have a cosmetology program or a cosmetology school that we can go to. So we have to do esthetician, and then if we want to learn about hair, we have to go to hairstyling school, which I believe hairstyling school is a year or 2 years for different programs. It just depends on what school you go to and what program you go to. So it's another year or another 2 years. So my advice is do your research because it's different from every country and every state, every province. It is different. So do your research, look up esthetician school, esthetician programs, and if you're planning on becoming a medical esthetician, or for some people it would be a master esthetician, make sure you do your research beforehand. Is it worth it going to school? I think yes. You technically don't have to go to school if you want to be like a nail technician. At least here in Canada, you technically don't. If you wanted to go work in a spa, a lot of them train you on the spot. So for instance, if you don't have any certification or diploma for nails, a lot of them will just train you on the spot. But to be honest, a lot of places will not hire you. So I think it's great to have that knowledge and to have that diploma or have that certification saying, I know what's going on. I know the basics. And honestly, just having that diploma and that certification will get you far. And a lot of people just like to see that you have that basic knowledge. So to be completely honest with you, you do, but you don't. If you're planning on opening your own business, like for instance, for lashes or lash tint or anything like that, you technically don't have to have schooling or a background knowledge in that. If I'm being honest, you don't. You can literally start your business and not have any kind of knowledge or any kind of schooling for that. But I should say you may go through hurdles getting clientele, because some people like to see that you've had that schooling and you have that knowledge. So that is good to know if you are planning on starting a business, that some people like to see that. They like to see that you have that background and knowledge already. Now, does that mean you have to go to schooling for it? No, I'm just saying you may go through hurdles or you may not. I know a lot of successful people that didn't go to schooling and don't have an esthetician program or even anything like that in beauty, and they have their own business and it's doing great. So technically no, but I should say it's great to have that knowledge, but you honestly don't, but you may go through hurdles. So it's kind of just you know what I mean? It's up in the air. Now for scrubs, when I went to school, yeah, you have to wear scrubs. I know in esthetician school, some people wear black scrubs. For us, we wore white scrubs, which it was hard to keep clean. I remember that I always got it dirty, and I was also working like a full-time job and also being in school full-time. So I was wearing those scrubs like until I got to work, and then I would change. And then I noticed that for some reason, my scrubs got dirty from going to school to getting on the bus and then going to work. I'm like, how? So it was really hard to keep clean. So honestly, if you're going to esthetician school, make sure you grab a couple pairs of scrubs if you can. If you can. I know it can get pricey. So if you can't, I completely understand. But I will tell you, if your scrubs are going to get dirty, 100%. So buy a couple, at least 2 to start off with. And then as you get going, maybe save up, or maybe as a birthday present and Christmas present, be like, hey, family, I need scrubs for school. So yeah, you're going to be wearing scrubs. So buy a couple. If not, I get it, but I just want to let you know they're going to get dirty. Guys, that's the end of the video. I really hoped you liked this video. Make sure you like and subscribe for more skincare content. So